I will be presenting information relating to landslides in Australia. I will outline the following aspects, which will include 1. What a landslide is. 2. Different types of landslides. 3. The process for landslide monitoring, warning and mitigation. 4. A brief overview of landslides within Australia. 5. Basic actions that can be taken to prepare for a landslide. I will now outline different types of landslides. There are many different types of landslides, including rockfalls, slope failures, slides, mass movements, mudslides, or creep events. Creep events are an example of landslides that move slowly over a long period of time. Landslides can strike on any slope involving different types of movement. When we talk about landslides and how they occur, there are two different categories. 1. Landslides can be natural phenomenon resulting from natural processes of the earth. For example, a steep slope may increase the likelihood of a landslide. Or if there has been water running along or beneath the slope, it may reduce the strength of the ground and cause landslides. Other reasons include earthquakes, rainfall, and other related events. 2. Human activity. For example, mining or quarrying can lead to risk of landslides. Also vibrations from heavy traffic, or removal of vegetation, which means ground stability may be compromised, causing landslides. Overloading on slopes can also cause landslides. Since 1942, there have been 114 landslides that have caused injury or death. Whether they caused injury or death doesn't define whether it's a major or minor event. A large landslide could occur with no fatalities or injuries as it's in the middle of nowhere, while there may be a very small rockfall that results in death or injury as it's in a populated location. There have been more than 1,800 recorded landslides since 1842. Although many of these landslides have resulted from natural phenomena, almost half of those causing death and injury can be attributed to human activity. You may remember the tragic Thredbo landslide back in 1997. The Thredbo landslide disaster involved 1,000 tonnes of material on the hill slope that moved downwards, severely damaging the Thredbo ski resort and village in New South Wales. 18 lives were lost, significant infrastructure damage was caused, and the final cost exceeded $40 million. What caused the landslide? The cause of the landslide disaster included a combination of reasons: an unstable hill slope, fractured water pipe, loose sediment, and heavy rainfall and melting snow. When can landslide occur? Every state and territory is at risk from landslides. Types of locations known to be at risk from landslides in Australia include 1. The alpine regions of New South Wales and Victoria. 2. Southeast Queensland. 3. Gippsland and Otway Ranges in Victoria. 4. Coastal cliffs. 5. The Great Dividing Range. 6. The Mount Lofty Ranges in South Australia. 7. Mount Wellington, Tamar Valley, and northwest coast of Tasmania. Landslides can happen in very localised areas any time without warning. How do we detect a landslide? Areas where landslides had occurred in the past may be monitored in case of reoccurrence. Sometimes landslides can give a natural warning that they might occur in the area. For example, 1. Doors and windows getting stuck due to movement of the house. New cracks or unusual bulges in the ground, road or pavements. Ground that is wet in areas that are not typically wet. Four, sunken or leaning objects such as telephone poles, retaining walls or fences. 5. Offset fence lines. How to ensure that we are safe from landslides. High-risk landslide areas are usually roped off, and public access will be restricted. In some cases, boulders made of rocks may be positioned to prevent landslides from causing severe damage. Also sometimes covering the landslide with an impermeable membrane. Redirecting the flow of water away from the slope. Underground water will also need to be redirected to ensure landslide risk is reduced. Who's responsible for monitoring landslides? It's each local council's responsibility to monitor and reduce the risk of landslides. Some universities have monitoring programs, such as the University of Wollongong, and Geoscience Australia maintains a landslide database. To summarise key messages, landslides are a natural part of Australian landscape. There are a wide variety of specific processes that are covered by the generic term landslides. Australia has a history of damaging landslides, and there is a high risk of future landslides occurring. Climate, weather and land use all have impact on the frequency and sizes of landslides. Monitoring and warning for local landslides is delegated to local government. There is no warning mechanism for landslides, making them a significant danger to the general public.